On the next episode of Sips, Suds, and Smokes.
This is wine. This is no whiskey. It's wine. Yeah, so.
Looking forward to these liquid fruit roll-ups.
Here's the wines we're going to be discussing today. So we have from Nielsen, we have the Nielson Santa Barbara County Chardonnay 2019. We have the Nielson Santa Barbara County Pinot Noir 2018. We have from Girard the Petite Sirah 2018 Napa Valley. The Girard Old Vine Zinfandel Napa Valley 2018. The Girard Cabernet Sauvignon Napa Valley 2018. And the Girard Artistry Napa Valley 2019. And from DAOU, we have the DAOU Sauvignon Paso Robles Cabernet Sauvignon 2018.
Wow. It's quite a lineup.
Yeah, it's a good day, isn't it?
It is a good day.
It's a good day's work.
We'll be right back after this break. Brought to you almost live from the Dude in the Basement Studios. Why? Because that's where the good stuff is. It's Sips, Suds, and Smokes with your smoking hosts, the good old boys. And now it's sippin' time.
Yes, it's sipping time again. Hello and welcome to this Sips episode where everything good in life is worth discussing. As always, we are the best thing on at 2 a.m. What, no argument?
I doubt it.
No witty banter?
I mean, I doubt it today. It's just like, I'm not bringing it.
I don't know. Those reruns of Hee Haw are really close.
Nothing's better than Hee Haw. I mean, come on. Had Elvis's girlfriend on that show. It was a pretty good show.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, this is Made Man Bob, and joining me today are good old boy Harmeet.
Yep. I'm sorry. I'm in a mood, man. I'm in a mood.
Yeah, I can see the guy that's an hour and a half late's in a mood. Made Man Maury.
Good morning, Bob. Excited to be here.
And good old boy Justin.
Good morning. Looking forward to these liquid fruit roll-ups.
This is wine. This is no whiskey. It's wine.
Oh.
Yeah, so just remember that. Yep. All right, well, our sip segments are all about wine, distilled spirits, tea, coffee, and pretty much anything else you can drink other than beer. And here's the wines we're going to be discussing today. So we have from Nielsen, we have the Nielson Santa Barbara County Chardonnay 2019. We have the Nielson Santa Barbara County Pinot Noir 2018. We have from Girard the Petite Sirah 2018 Napa Valley. The Girard Old Vine Zinfandel Napa Valley 2018. The Girard Cabernet Sauvignon Napa Valley 2018. And the Girard Artistry Napa Valley 2019. And from DAOU, we have the DAOU Sauvignon Paso Robles Cabernet Sauvignon 2018.
Wow. It's quite a lineup.
Yeah, it's a good day, isn't it?
It is a good day.
It's a good day's work. So, as always, we're going to go to Justin and ask him to give us our sips ratings.
Okay.
Like today?
Yes.
Yeah, that would be good.
No, next week.
Yeah.
Give him time. He's
One
warming
sip. Give me a glass of water to wash out my mouth, man.
Gangazine, water. Gangazine, bring water. Bring water.
up. You didn't figure out where you were going with that till you started, did you?
No, he had no idea.
Like halfway through the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
2 sips. Nice, but what else do you have?
Well, isn't that nice?
It's not quite Spicoli enough for me, sorry.
3 sips. Interesting. What was this again?
There you go.
Interesting.
No.
4 sips. Let's keep this secret to ourselves. Pour me another.
That's classified.
That sounded like John Crawford on crack.
5 sips. Oh my, I was unaware anything could be this good.
Oh my goodness!
That was That was Booberry. You remember the Booberry guy? That was Booberry. I'm pretty sure that was Booberry. Have you got to count Chocula in there too? Like, awesome.
We don't have a number 6, otherwise we would.
All right. All right. So let's move on. We're going to go to our first wine, and we're going to have Justin in a normal voice actually tell us a little bit about that one.
Well, that's stretching it, but okay. Nielson Wines pays homage to its namesake, Uriel J. Nielson, who in 1964 planted the first commercial vineyard in Santa Barbara County, a region previously considered too cold to grow grapes. Over 50 years later, his vision is confirmed by the over 100 wineries and thousands of acres of vineyards in Santa Barbara. Nielson is helmed by winemaker Anna Clifford, a California native and UC Davis graduate. She has worked for wineries in Napa Valley and Sonoma, including Beringer, William Hill, and Geyser Peak, as well as wineries in the Central Otago in New Zealand, or Otago. First coming to Nielson in 2018, she was made winemaker in 2020. Today we're going to talk about the Nielson Santa Barbara Chardonnay 2019. It's 100% Chardonnay. It's 14% alcohol by volume, aged for 8 months in French oak barrels, stainless steel, and concrete egg.
Oh my.
The grapes for this wine come from 2 different regions in Santa Barbara. The Santa Maria Valley is one of California's coolest AVAs, which results in one of the longest growing seasons in the world. The other region is the St. Rita Hills AVA with its steep vineyard slopes.
Santa Rita.
Yeah.
Santa Rita. Thank you.
Not Santa Rita. That's
No,
That's Miami.
Yeah, that's Haiti. Yeah.
Right. Its steep vineyard slopes and distinct saline minerality. The color is light. On the nose, I got citrus flower, clean sheets, a slight note of...
How would you know what clean sheets smell like?
Yeah, it's never happened.
When I bought them, they were clean.
Yeah. Yeah.
Envelope glue, and over time, you get more and more wood notes on the nose.
Okay, that's just weird.
Yeah, envelope glue. Okay. Well, hold on. I gotta go back and smell this one. Hold on.
It's light envelope glue.
I want to buy these envelopes.
I got some for you.
Yeah, because mine don't smell like that.
And on the palate, I got light honey, heavier citrus notes, and a little bit of salinity. On the finish, it was light and pretty long for a white wine. Salty and slightly citric on the side palate. It was a really pleasant finish. What did you think, Maury?
I think you nailed it on the description. I think it's a delightful wine. It's beautiful. It's got a light amount of oak on it. It's definitely not an unoaked Chardonnay, but it's definitely a much more judicious use of oak. And I think that gives it a little bit more balance. You definitely get the minerality and the salinity from the concrete egg. I would be hard pressed to say that this tasted like a stainless steel fermented chard. I thought it was really nice. It was pleasant. It was well balanced. It had just enough oak to make it interesting. It wasn't over oaked. I didn't detect any malolactic fermentation. I agreed with you. The finish was nice. It was medium length, had a little acidity, a little salinity. I just thought it was a beautifully well made wine, and I liked it a lot. Harm?
I like this wine. And I think you hit all the right notes. The citrus flowers. I get at first when it was colder, I was getting lime peel. As it warms up now, I'm getting touches of pineapple, and there's a hint of butteriness there. I'm sure there is mallow here, but not much. It could be time on lees. It could be time on lees. The concrete egg is always going to change the texture of the wine as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, it sits on the palate. It comes in really nice mouthfeel. And the salinity is a good pickup on that. And the finish is fairly long, medium long, lingering salinity, a little bit of butteriness on there. But I only pick it up when it's warm. When it was cold, I did not get any
This definitely needed to warm up a touch.
You're right about the pineapple. I really got more pineapple on the nose than on the palate, but it had definitely a little burst of.
It's definitely tropical fruit. I like that tropical style of Chardonnay. And now I'm pouring it from the again from the bottle, and the pineapple's going in, but it's warmer now, and I like this a lot. I want to increase my score on this one. Yeah. I just think we served it too. We had it too chilled earlier.
Well, and that's going to happen. You know, I mean,
most people serve things too cold anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
a
but
moving target.
But you've also got to find that spot because every wine's different. You know, some drink a little bit, a little better, slightly cooler. Some.
This is what I find. I think better made wines, especially whites, drink better when they're a little bit warmer. I always taste. When I'm tasting wines for the store for white wines, I like to taste them at with my temperature. My customers will have them right out of the fridge. They're way too cold, and usually then the nose is going to be muted, which I found this was wasn't really muted when I first got here because I got here late, as Bob pointed out. But as it warms, I always taste them again closer to room temp, because what you taste at room temperature in a white wine, you'll find all the flaws. Yeah, I'm not finding any flaws in this. This is
well, I generally prefer Chardonnay warmer anyway. I don't like it icy cold. There's not a lot of wines I like. You're not the target market. Cold.
You're not a cougar.
Yeah, that's true too.
This is.
Oh, I'm not a cougar.
This is definitely not cougar juice. I'm happy.
The fat man made a funny.
Mm-hmm. Good for you. I thought it was lovely. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised. It came out of the bottle better than I expected. It didn't do what a lot of Chardonnays do. It didn't over oak. It didn't over butter. It didn't over everything that most Chards do. It just had enough.
And I don't smell a hint of sulfur, which is perfect.
Yeah. It's got a great mouthfeel to it. You definitely pick up that little mineral note, the little salinity on it. The nose is really, really beautiful once it warms up a little bit. Overall, I think it's an extremely pleasant wine. I think they did a really good job on this one. So we're going to be giving the Nielson Santa Barbara County Chardonnay.
I want to go higher, but you keep giving
That's classified.
4 sips.
Oh, we did go higher.
I won.
All right, so let's move on to the next one, and we're going to have Harm tell us about that one.
Thanks, Bob. The Nielsen Santa Barbara County Chard. Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong thing.
Next one.
I've been drinking wine. The next one. The Nielsen Santa Barbara County Pinot Noir 2018, 100% Pinot Noir, 13.9% ABV, aged 12 months in French oak barrels. I'm not sure what the percentage of new and used oak is this. It's not all that oaky. The grapes from this wine come from 3 major Pinot Noir growing regions within Santa Barbara, each contributing to unique character to the resulting wine. The Santa Maria Valley is one of the coolest California AVAs, slightly warmer than Los Alamos, and the area of Los Alamos and the area of Santa Rita Hills AVA. And we'll be back.
Hey, and we're back, and we just finished reviewing from Nielsen their Santa Barbara County Chardonnay, and Harm was telling us about their Pinot Noir, so let us know what you think.
Well, I love the fact that it's 100% Pinot Noir, because the dirty little secret of most California Pinot Noirs is there's a ton of Chardonnay in there, or Syrah in there, and there's also some people use a Bonarda.
Muscatel.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, that's Sanford and Son.
I know. This is a classical Pinot Noir. I really enjoyed this. The color is slightly translucent ruby, or actually not even slightly. I can read through this. This is translucent, and that's a good way to tell it's actually Pinot Noir. It's not over extracted. It's got the right colors. It's a little more ruby than some are, but so I guess that's more time on Lee's. The nose, black tea and black cherry. There's a little bit of vanilla coming out, some more red berries, and there's a hint of like it's like a saline quality, almost like a little bit of a little sanguine quality to it. It reminds me of Pommard. I wonder what clones they're using for the Pinot Noir.
That I couldn't tell you.
On the palate, The fruit is there. It's got an earthiness, and there's a long savory finish to it. And there that saline kind of sanguine quality just totally reminds me of Pommard. The finish is medium. I think I enjoyed this one a lot more than you guys did. Maury?
Well, I think that you hit the nail on the head with regard to the description. I agree with the bright cherry on the nose and the tea. I thought the nose was classic California Pinot Noir. It was just...
Really? It actually reminds me more French than it does California, because the Pinot Noirs I've been tasting from California lately, especially at this price point, they're fruit bombs, and they shouldn't be.
Well, this is not a fruit bomb.
No, this is.
I liked it. I thought it was what a classic Pinot should taste like. And you're
100%.
right that there are some that are coming out that are over extracted.
Well, the
the
most popular Pinot Noirs in the country are just jammy, and they shouldn't be.
Yeah, this is what it.
Correct.
When I'm with Maury, when I say Pinot, this is what I'm thinking of.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not thinking
a
of
huge
the other.
fan of old world Pinot as much as I am of domestic Pinot. To me,
It doesn't have that funkiness or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a classic New World Pinot, and what I would consider classic style.
Yeah, more the old school style. Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked it a lot. I didn't. The only thing I slightly disagree with, I thought the finish was a little bit more medium. I loved the mouthfeel. I thought it was very pleasant. It had nice balance to it, earth tones and red fruit. I thought it was very well made. I was really pleasantly surprised.
What do you think, Justin?
I think it was a really approachable wine, and definitely got some fruit and wood notes, and it was like a memory from childhood. Remember in Cub Scouts, we made those little carts that go down a track.
Pinewood Derby?
Pinewood Derby, yeah.
So there's a note of those fresh shaved Pinewood Derby cars in there, which is just fun.
Justin, this is you. We know you just stuck wheels on the block. You didn't shape anything. Yours was a cube and had wheels on it. We know.
Well, I did have help from Dad, but we did sandpaper the thing.
Yeah, Dad sandpapered it so it was smooth. A smooth cube. It looked like a Borg trying to absorb all the other cars.
I was the second to the slowest one in that race. I'll tell you that. Big shock.
I'm
to everyone
surprised.
here.
That's shocking.
Big shock.
We're pretty sure you were the second to slowest, but how fast did your car go?
Exactly. But it was really fun wine.
Now this is a really lovely Pinot, and I'm with Maury. It's when I think of a California Pinot, this is what I think of. I don't think of the newer style that seems to be more prevalent. This is what I think, and it's lovely. Again, I'm with Harm. There's a black tea, lots of black cherry. It's got some fruitiness, but not like the newer style. It's
I would like some salmon, please.
Yeah, it would be
Grilled salmon.
Yeah, it would be fabulous. It's got a light dustiness on the palate, and you pick up that minerality. And there's a slight bit of salinity in that dustiness at the end. So, I mean, overall, an excellent wine. I thought it was really lovely. So we're going to be rating that a well-deserved 3 sips.
Interesting.
So let's have Maury tell us about our next winery.
Thank you, Bob. Girard was established in 1975 in Calistoga between Vaca and Mayacamas mountain ranges. With relationships built with growers over decades, they source fruit from family growers all over the Napa Valley, including Rutherford, Diamond Mountain, Oakville, St. Helena, Calistoga, Yountville, Howell Mountain, Mount Veeder, and Atlas Peak. That's a lot of places.
A lot of famous places.
Yes. At the forefront of science and sustainability, they practice nitrogen capture and utilize 95% of solar energy. They also practice water and energy conservation techniques at the winery. They also innovate through the selected use of hybrid barrels made of 1/3 French, American, and Hungarian oak. Don't think I've seen too many of them. Winemaker Glenn Hugo focuses on small wine lots, and each lot independently is sorted and custom fermented to fully maximize the potential of the fruit while maintaining the balance. So the first wine we have from Girard is the Girard Petite Sirah 2018 Napa Valley. Comes in at 14.5% ABV. It is 90% Petite Sirah with 10% Zinfandel. The fruit for the Petite Sirah was sourced from the old vine plantings in the Calistoga and Pope Valley areas of Napa Valley. So this is a really neat wine. It's got a very deep garnet color. On the nose, there's definitely cedar and plum, a little bit of red currant, and then there's definitely some dusty earthiness and a hint of tobacco. On the palate, it's got some really nice, dense flavors. It's definitely not jammy, but you get some blackberry preserve, you get a hint of vanilla, some dried herbs. It's got a really interesting palate. You can definitely get a little bit of vanilla and some oak, a hint of barrel. And then the finish, I would say, is dry and medium long. Very nice wine. I think they did a really nice job with this. Justin, what do you think?
I really enjoyed this. I appreciate the fact that they minimize their carbon footprint and make a really quality expression. The finish was the standout for me. Just like rich and sweet and woody. I really liked it. What'd you think, Bob?
I think it's an excellent representation of a good Petite Sirah. It's got a really lovely nose. For me, it goes back and forth between fruity and earthy.
But it's got a nice balance. It's not definitely not jammy.
No, it's not. It's
definitely
not
over
That's what I'm
oaked.
saying. It's not too much of either. As you know, as it sits there in the glass and gets a little more air, the earthiness is coming out a little bit more in my nose. But on the palate, it's I get blackberries and raspberries. I get berry fruit. It's got a really nice mouthfeel to it. It's got a little bit of chewiness up front. It's got a nice mouthfeel. It's got a nice texture. Well-made wine.
My only qualm is it doesn't have enough pepper for me. I expect a little more pepper from Petite Sirah. This is on the fruitier side. I have no other qualms with it. I think this is very well made. It's the texture is so good. This is just mouth coating.
It's got a great mouthfeel. That's the thing that I really picked up on it. I mean, for a Petite Sirah, it really coats the whole front of your mouth so well.
And as it's gotten more air in the glass, it's getting better. I would suggest if you have an aerator, aerate this wine rather than just pour and drink.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I think it would benefit from some air, no question.
Well, we're going to be rating the Girard Petite Sirah 2018, a well-deserved 3 sips.
Interesting.
So that takes us to our next wine, which is also from Girard, which is the Girard Old Vine Zinfandel Napa Valley 2018. It's 15% ABV, 90% Zinfandel, 9% Petite Sirah, 1% Grenache. Sourced from select vineyards, including Morgan Vineyard in the southeastern area of Napa Valley, where the cooler climate affords grapes brisk acidity and bright fruit flavors, and the Godward Vineyard in Calistoga, which is planted with the older vine. So on the color, it's got a nice ruby to it, nice dense color. On the nose, it's very, very. I get a nice hint of pepper as it sits there and gets air. I'm getting more and more of the pepper on it. But there's also, I'm getting a blackberry. I'm getting a raspberry.
Pepper definitely came out late. I didn't really get the pepper up front.
No, when we
they
first
poured it.
opened it up, I was looking at the vintner's notes, and I'm like, they're saying pepper. I'm not getting any on the nose. I get it on the palate, but nothing on the nose. But as the air
opened.
hits it, it's definitely coming up. And there's a sort of floral note to it, but that was much more strong when we first opened the bottle. That's blown off a little bit. But on the palate, I get dark cherries. It's the pepper is definitely there. It's got a really good mouthfeel to it. It's got a nice tannin. It's got a nice bottom note in the bottom palate. A classic old vine Zin. Really enjoying this one. What do you think, Maury?
Yeah, I happen to really like Zin. I think a lot of people are just not really familiar with Zin, so I really appreciated this wine. I agree with everything you said. I thought the The color is just deep and dense, and I agree with everything you said about the nose. It has a beautiful mouthfeel. The pepper definitely came out with a little air on the nose. I thought the finish was medium to long. I just thought it was a really well done Zinfandel, and I can't say enough good about
the
it.
older the vines, though, it changes the character of the wine. You know, when you get something that's a newer vineyard with Zin, it's still an excellent wine, but it's a different character.
I agree. I definitely like some old vines when it comes to Zin, and like I said, they just really, I think they nailed it.
What did you think?
Disagree with you guys so much.
Well, that's usual.
This wine to me was a disappointment. I was expecting more.
Well, that's just like
We were expecting you
opinion,
more out of
man.
you too.
I know. Hey, I already warned you I'm in a mood. I'm expecting from Zinfandel from this area a little more blue fruit. I don't get any blueberry. I don't get any plum. This is blackberry,
Violet,
raspberry.
you're turning violet.
Yes, all right. What was her name? Veruca Salt. Right?
Veruca Salt.
Veruca Salt. Great band too.
And Violet Beauregard. Yeah.
Anyway, it's just I don't know. It's just not doing it for me. This wine it's an okay Zin. It's just not what I expected. I really was looking for more, especially based on that Pinot Noir we just had. I was expecting more from this wine.
Go home, go back to bed, and wake up on the other side, and I think you'll appreciate this wine more.
Yeah. What did you think, Justin?
This really reminded me of like some of the younger French table wines that I've had. I know it's from the Valley, but it doesn't taste like it's from the Valley, but it's pretty good. The baking spice is pretty cool. The finish is like fruit forward, and it's got like a nice lemony zest to it.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
I don't know what wine he was drinking.
No.
Oh my.
I mean, there's a little bit of good acidity there, but it's balanced. It's I wouldn't call it a lemony zest. I don't know. Sorry. I have to disagree with you guys.
We're used to it at this point, so nothing new to
myself
anybody at the
disagreeable
table
today.
here. Well, in spite of him, we're going to rate the Girard Old Vine Zinfandel Napa Valley 2018. I think a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
Oh my God.
Please hold the comments from the peanut gallery.
All right, so Maury, tell us about our next to last wine from Girard.
I'd be happy to. Thank you, Bob. The next wine is the Girard Cabernet Sauvignon Napa Valley 2018. It comes in at 14.5% ABV. It is composed of 81% Cabernet Sauvignon, 4% Cab Franc, 4% Merlot, 7% Petite Verdot, and 4% Malbec. This is a cool wine. It's got a really deep, dark, brooding burgundy color. On the nose, tart cherry seems to overwhelm, along with some red berry, a little bit of cocoa and black plum. It's got a really nice nose. On the mouth, beautiful texture, beautiful mouthfeel. It's definitely got a little bit of raspberry jam, some minerality, hint of vanilla. I think it's a beautifully made classic Napa Cab. I think they did a nice job of keeping from getting it over jammy and over extracted. I found that the only criticism I could make is I thought the finish was a little too short for me. I would have liked to see the finish a little bit longer. But other than that, a very well made wine with no flaws. Harm?
I actually agree with you. I know what's going on
That's a
here.
shock.
Yeah. No, I wasn't expecting to agree with you on anything today. The color was an opaque ruby with a violet rim, red berry, tart cherry, just like you said. I'm getting cocoa here. Cocoa and almost like a hint of sandalwood now that it's opened up a little bit more. I didn't enjoy this wine at first, but now the texture has gotten better as it's sitting in my glass. The tannins are a little bit drying. The nose is I come back to that cocoa on the berry. That's really pleasant. It's got good tannin, good grip, but not overly done. I mean, this wine, we don't talk about cost. This wine for the price point, It's like under $30, I guess. This is a great effort for that.
Yeah, I think if you can talk value, you can't argue with the value. It's a great value.
What do you think, Justin?
This expression had great mouthfeel to it. I love to try it with something fatty.
Ribeye.
Yeah, ribeye.
How about a mirror?
I was just going to say, why don't you just try it with Harm?
Yeah.
Right.
I've gained weight. Thanks for noticing, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I got something fatty for you. Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, this was a fun wine.
Well, it's supposed to be fun. It's wine. You know, that's the point. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't drink it. But
Bad wine is a trial. A good wine is a party.
yeah, this is lovely. There's just tart berries, a little bit of cherry, like slightly underripe cherry. The cocoa is definitely, the longer this sits in the glass, the more that comes out. And it's more of a, I don't know if it's not like it's a straight cocoa. It's more like a chocolate milk. It doesn't have that bitterness that you get with a cocoa. And yeah, definitely like a little bit of tropical fruit at the very tip.
I didn't get the cocoa on the palate. I only got it on the nose.
No, I don't get it on the palate at all. I get it on the nose. And then on the palate, hold on. It's got a beautiful mouthfeel. It's very coating, especially on the bottom part of the palate. It's got a really good texture. It's got a little bit of a jamminess to it, but not overly done, not overly sweet. It's got a really nice a dusty earth minerality to it.
I'm coming back to it now. I don't feel this is that dusty. This is more silky to me. And now, as I come back to it,
when I say dusty, it's not overpowering. It's just, it's one of the notes that's in there. I mean, overall, yeah, silky is what it is. But it's got that little bit of minerality to it, a little bit of crushed stone, a little bit of just a slight bit of salinity at the bottom of the palate, around the bottom of the teeth. Overall, I mean, a really well-made wine. And we'll be back. Hey, and we're back, and we're still discussing the Girard Cabernet Sauvignon Napa Valley 2018. Let me grab my glass again. Really, really lovely wine. Like I said, there's a minerality to it, but it's not overpowering. Like you said, it's got a silky flavor in the mouth. It really coats really well.
I figure this wine could use a little more acidity for me to make it better, but
fair point.
It is what it is, and it's enjoyable.
Yeah, if you could turn the acidity up one click, I think then you might have something there. But other than that, I really can't point to any flaws in it. I mean, it's extremely well made, delicious wine. So, we're going to be rating the Girard Cabernet Sauvignon Napa Valley 2018, a well-deserved 4 sips.
That's classified.
So let's go on to our last wine from Girard, and we're going to have Harm tell us about that one.
Why, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome.
With this wine is what's number 6? Yes. Girard Artistry Napa Valley 2019. This is a Bordeaux style blend. It's 14.9% ABV, 69% Cabernet Sauvignon, 13% Merlot, 9% Malbec, 6% Cabernet Franc, 3% Petite Verdot.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Those are the 5 classic grapes from Bordeaux that are acceptable varietals there in Bordeaux. So this is all sourced from St. Helena, Oakville, Diamond Mountain, and the Pope Valley for their fruit and integrated tannins. That's for the but that says the Merlots from Yountville and Rutherford and the Cabernet Franc and the Petite Verdot from Pope Valley.
Helps
and the
you read.
The Malbec from Yountville. I don't want to read this. Your notes mean nothing to me. Intense opaque garnet, violet rim. It's very young. The nose is all about crushed berries. There's mocha. There's good minerality. In fact, I want to pour this out and do this aerated. Can I get the aerator? Yeah. Where's that?
It's right in front of you, knucklehead.
Where's the artistry? There's the artistry. Yeah. I think this one, it did not get enough time in the glass for me. And let's go put this to the Venturi.
I don't know. You're only an hour and a half late. It should have plenty of time in the glass.
I don't know.
saying.
This wine has got stuffing in it. This is built a lot more structure than that Cabernet. This is what that Cabernet, this is what was missing from that
Harm
Cabernet.
has stuffing in him too, because we've been saying for years he's full of something.
Wow. It's almost kirsch on the palate. Tons of mocha. There's great minerality here. Wonderful grip. A little bit of graphite. This is the acidity that was missing in that cab is here.
Yeah.
I've got that
the
now.
acidity is up on this one, definitely.
The toasty oak and balanced with baking spices. And I get some violets on the nose as well. And wow. This is the wine I was looking for from these guys. I think this is a much better effort than the Zin or the Cab.
This one could go for a few years. I mean, the acidity's there, the tannin's there.
I'm sure this is also a different price point too.
Oh, sure.
You get that pencil lead note, that graphite, the mocha. This is a beautiful Bordeaux style blend that I would just love to have on the table at home. This is the one I want with a steak. This is it. Justin, what do you think?
Everything Harm said, but I noticed a nice graham cracker note in the nose that was fun and a real contrast to the palate.
I didn't get that sweetness. You got graham cracker?
So you want a steak with this? Is that what you're saying?
I always want a steak with everything.
I call this turf and turf. 16-ounce T-bone and a 24-ounce porterhouse. Also, whiskey and a cigar. I'm going to consume all of this at the same time because I am a free American.
There you go.
You say free America?
Free American.
Free American.
It sounded like he said America.
Yeah.
He was already drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a porterhouse, a ribeye, whiskey, and a cigar. Yeah.
You know that, what's his name again?
Ron Swanson.
No, not the character, the actual, the comedian.
Nick Offerman.
His Lagavulin this year
fantastic.
is so good.
Yeah.
They put his face on Lagavulin 11-year-old, and they did it in Guinness barrels, the finish.
Well, I saw an interview with him one time, and he says, if I go into a restaurant, he says, I never have to pay for a meal because somebody always sends me a steak. Like, that's a rough problem to have, buddy.
Yeah, right.
Oh, buy him a scotch too. But anyway,
send him a bottle of this artistry.
We went off on a little bit a tangent there. Sorry.
Our love of meat shows through. What can I say?
Bring us some fresh wine. No more of this old stuff.
Yeah. So what did you think, Justin?
So I really liked the palate on this. I thought it was like really rich and balanced, more fruity than tannic or woody. I wish
it's got tons of tannin, dude. I just think it's balanced.
Yeah, it's the
tannins. The acidity is carrying that tannin.
Yeah.
So you're not getting too dry, and it's just great.
Yeah, you can feel the tannin down on your teeth, down low.
Yeah.
But it's
my tongue is all puckered up.
But it's not, blindingly astringent because the acidity is offsetting. This is a lovely wine.
It's gotten much better in the glass.
Yeah.
It was delicious
Did
when
you
we
try
poured it.
aerated? Just here, take the aerator. Do this.
All right. I'll take the air.
If one must.
Let me give you the bucket. I know, sacrilege, pouring wine out.
You could just drink it and then pour some more. That's what I
We
generally
have
do.
another wine show to record, and we need to let him drive home.
Driving's overrated.
Yeah.
You feel better
I guess
now?
it's going to be an Uber.
All right,
it's going to be an Uber kind of show.
Now pour your wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, flush. Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, the air that it had from being in the glass for an hour was comparable to the aerator. The aerator give it an hour's worth of aeration. I think it's delicious. I think I would agree with everything that's been said. It's balanced. It's well made. The tannins are there, but they're well integrated and well balanced. It's really just extremely well done. I wasn't sure right when it came out of the bottle it was good, but it's really There's no question now. It's got a really purple, inky color to it. I love this wine, and I think it's a big step up. And honestly, for the price, I think it's a great value.
It's not much more than their other wines, and this is where it's at.
Well, and that's the thing. All the wines we've had from Girard have been really great, especially considering the money. I mean, that's all the wines we've had so far, even the ones from Nielsen. I mean,
I still go back to
really
that Chardonnay.
great value.
Pour some more right now.
Yeah, I mean, just really great
so
value for the money. I mean, it's easy to find a 5 if you throw enough money at it. But right. Finding a 3 or a 4 for something that you can afford is very difficult. It's especially finding a 4 pushing
these guys
a 5.
Are in the sweet spot. They're in the $30 sub 30, except for this artistry. I think we're closer to 50 here, but we're not drinking value priced wines today. We're not under the $10.
No, not by no means.
Then now you're digging deep to find stuff.
But yeah, I mean, value for the dollar, absolutely there. I mean, it's just
come back to that Chardonnay, that beautiful acidity.
Yeah, this has just it's just berries and berries and berries on the nose, and it's got a lovely minerality to it, and it's so well balanced, the tannin, the acidity. Really, what more can you say? We're going to be rating the Girard Artistry Napa Valley Cabernet, a well-deserved 4 sips.
Classified.
So let's move on to our last wine of the show, and that is the DAOU Family Estates. Is a family-owned and operated winery. They're situated on a 212-acre hilltop estate in the Adelaida district of Paso Robles. Their geology, favorable microclimate, and high elevation were once described by renowned California winemaker Andrei Chelishev as a jewel of ecological elements. DAOU's goal is to make unique fine wines that honestly and accurately reflect the potential of the estate and to craft Bordeaux-style wines that combine old world tradition with new world techniques. So we've done several of theirs on a past episode.
These guys elevated what was coming out of Paso Robles.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, 30 years ago, what was coming out of Paso, 20, 30 years ago, was just not dreck, but they were struggling.
Yeah.
These guys brought it to
They came in and put it on the map, as they say. And this is the DAOU Soul of a Lion Paso Robles Cabernet Sauvignon 2018. It's 14.7% ABV. It's 75% Cab, 15% Cabernet Franc, 10% Petit Verdot. It's aged for 22 months and 100% new French oak. The Soul of a Lion. Can tell. Yeah. The Soul of a Lion is named for George and Daniel DAOU's father, an enduring symbol of strength and courage in their lives. First released in 2010, Soul of a Lion established Paso Robles as a rising star for world-class Cabernet Sauvignon. 2018 saw a good amount of rain on DAOU Mountain, which gave a later bud break in April. The weather remained steady from spring through June, with a short heat wave followed by a cooling trend for the rest of the season, which prolonged the hanging time for the latest harvest ever on the mountain all the way up into the 3rd week of October. The long, heavy hang time yielded a deep color and concentration in dense wine. So, again, beautiful, just inky color. I mean, absolutely lovely color on this.
This is an opaque purple. It's inky, black like my heart.
If you had one, yeah.
Well, there's a little bit of red there because I do still use blood.
Yeah, but
not motor oil.
You consume it. You don't use it. You consume it. That's how your people survive. So, but on the nose, it's just, oh my gosh, it's just flowers, violets, more and more flowers, more and more flowers on the palate. The palate, there's berries and berries. I'm getting blueberry in there. I'm getting plum in there. I'm getting cherry in there. Get a little bit of chocolate and a really just a dense mineral flavor to this. A slight bit of salinity, but mostly crusty, dusty stone. It's got a beautiful integrated palate. The tannins play off the acid very, very well. It's a fantastic wine. I mean, absolutely fantastic wine. What do you think, Maury?
I agree, Bob. I think this is head and shoulders above the rest. It's also
the price point is 3 times.
It's 3 times what we've been drinking. But that being said, so I'm not sure it's a fair comparison.
Yeah.
But looking at it in and of itself, just for what it is, I agree with everything you said. I think it's extremely well made. It's incredibly well balanced. It's got layers upon layers of flavor and fruit and this dark cherry and minerality. I just
the
think
longer it
it's a
sits in the
lovely wine.
glass, the better it gets.
Yeah.
It just
In fact, pour
more
me
and more
another, would you?
layers come out.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's got a beautiful finish. It too is a step up from even the other DAOUs we had, which were very, very good.
And we loved all of those.
Hey, you know what? I hosted a private dinner party. I'm not doing stuff in the store as much because of COVID, but everybody gets tested. I go there and I pour wine. I did a wine and whiskey event for 8 couples in suburban hell in Florida and last week. And let me tell you, I came out with the DAOU, just the reserve cab, which we've reviewed on this show. Fantastic, but this is head and shoulders above that too. These guys make great wine.
Well, that's when this release came out. That's why I reached out to the company and said, hey, we really enjoyed the last stuff. Is there any way we could get a sample of this one? So they were very kind to send it to us. And thank you very much because it's great. What did you think, Justin?
I think this is a really pleasant, complex, approachable, and excellent wine. I'm pretty impressed with it.
That's twice as many words as he uses when he does whiskey shows. I think we're turning him. Yeah, this is really, really nice.
Oh God, I just keep smelling. This is one of those wines you can just smell all night. Pour this in your glass. What I would do is I would buy the wine at my store because you'll pay half the price at a restaurant. Pay the $20 corkage fee when you get there. Bring your aerator with you. Have them pour through the aerator into the decanter. Order your appetizers. By the time your entree comes out, this is perfect. They'll give it 2 hours basically. I'm not going to swear. This is good. Oh my God. But, you're spending the money for it too. We're almost at $200 for this bottle. And literally, I think at Capitol Grill the other day I was there. This is $4.50 on their menu.
Oh my.
Yeah, so.
Wine is sunlight held together by water.
It's not a show unless we have Hans Gruber on.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like
It
it's not
just keeps
Christmas
getting better.
without him either.
It keeps getting better. So what you'll notice with Paso Robles tannins, these are not the silky, almost not their tannins from Napa Valley. This is still got some.
They have a mineral edge to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different soil, different climate. So, but absolutely lovely wine. Hopefully they'll share this with us again next year when the next release comes out. So, but yeah, overall fantastic. So we're going to be rating the DAOU Solvaline Paso Robles Cabernet Sauvignon 2018 a well-deserved 5 sips.
Frankly, I've had wines twice this price that don't taste this good.
Oh yeah, I've had plenty twice this price. I've had plenty more than twice this price. Price is
Don't
not
be bragging, Bob.
Pricer is not an indication.
I don't pay for those wines. I drink them.
Yeah, I know you don't.
I mean, I get first off, I get wholesale on them, but usually people buy me the wine.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank our co-host for joining us today. Thank you, Harm, for eventually showing up.
Look, dude, I was in a bad mood when I got here because of you. And
because I made you show up. Yeah.
Thank you.
And thank you, Maury.
Thank you, Bob. Another delicious day in the basement. I just wondering if you have a little foot rinse because I've got a few wineskins between my toes.
And thank you, Justin.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun.
Well, this for Sip Suds and Smokes. This is Made Man Bob. We want to thank you for joining us. Remember, life is too short to drink bad wine, and fortunately, that wasn't a problem today.
Not a single bad wine today.
No,
not one.
No. That's fine. Just heap the praise upon the guy who gets the wine.
Well done, Bob.
Come on. Come on.
Bob needs an extra producer credit for this show, Mike. You want to talk to him?
Come on.
Yeah. Do you need a raise, Bob? Is that what you're looking for?
All right. Just say the right thing. Say the thing I want you to say.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're listening to us online, do yourself a favor and tap
Tap it in.
the subscribe button.
Give it a little tappy. Tap, tap, tap-a-roo.
The easiest way to listen to our show is to ask Siri, Alexa, Google, Uncle Larry, or whoever it is that talks to you on your phone, play podcast Sip, Suds, and Smokes. We love your feedback, and you can reach us at info@sipsudsandsmokes.com. Our tasting notes flow out on Twitter and Instagram with our handle @SipSudsAndSmokes, and our Facebook page is always buzzing with lots of news. You'll also be able to interact with the thousands,
millions, and millions
of other fans on those social media platforms. Do us a favor. Take the time to rate this episode if you're listening to us online. That's a big help to us, and we get to see your feedback as well. Come back, join us for another episode, and keep on sipping.
This has been a One Tan Hand production of Sip, Suds, and Smokes, a program devoted to the appreciation of some of the finer slices of life. From the Dude in the Basement Studios, your hosts, the Good Old Boys, will see you all next time.